Remember when we did an orange zone and a red zone in Brooklyn and Queens? And we closed the schools? Don't you remember that?
It was 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're now going to override. We did it already. That's the law, an orange zone and a red zone. Follow the facts.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York Governor Andrew Cuomo winning an International EMMY Award for his virus press briefings. And yes, what I showed you at the very beginning of this video is an example of his virus press briefings. All right. Now, in all fairness, to be honest, that is from a few days ago, the one I just showed you. And I think he's winning the award for the 111 straight days of press briefings from March 2nd to June 19th of this year. But what I showed you is generally how these press briefings can go. He'll get triggered, he'll get butthurt, screech on a reporter. I'm not really seeing the sense of calm there, nor am I seeing anything that just screams, this is Emmy worthy, top level production, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's great. I'm not really seeing what they're saying. And as a matter of fact, they put out a statement to justify their selection of him getting that award, and I'll place that on the screen before you. It reads, the governor's 111 daily briefings work so well because he effectively created television shows with characters, plot lines, and the stories of success and failure. International Academy President and CEO Bruce L. Peisner said in a statement, people around the world tuned in to find out what was going on, and New York tough became a symbol of the determination to fight back. Now, I just want to pause for a moment. I've never heard the term New York tough in this context up until right now when I'm reading it. Okay, I've never heard anybody say that about Andrew Cuomo or the press briefings or New York State, New York City, or anywhere up there in general. I've just not heard that in the context of the virus or at all this year, quite frankly. Maybe I heard that back in the day, like in the 90s or something like that, but not anytime recently, especially not during this whole virus pandemic, scandemic, plandemic, kerfuffle, whatever you want to call it. But I'll move right along. I think this is not an award. It's a reward for pushing propaganda about the virus, for pushing fear about the virus, for pushing people to put on a mask and be compliant with the particular narrative that's sweeping the nation and the world. You know, put your mask on, stay home, live in fear, don't work, don't get no money. You know, government take care of you, big government, big daddy government. That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's what I'm seeing, because I don't see anything that he did that deserves any kind of recognition in a positive way. All right. Let's not forget that New York State, well, really New York City, but definitely the state. Let's not forget that New York is the epicenter of the virus, or at least it was. Maybe it still is right now. I'm not really sure. But that's where you had the majority, the overwhelming majority of the cases and the deaths, but most certainly the deaths. All right. The elephant in the room here is what Cuomo did, or what New York State did, which is Cuomo, because he's the governor. They have a directive, or at least they had one, that says that nursing homes must take virus positive patients. That was a directive. You can see that anywhere. You can see it on New York Times, MS13 DNC. That was their directive. And as a result, you had thousands of nursing home patients that died. We all know now, and we knew really for a long time, that the most vulnerable population were elderly people and those that have, you know, comorbidities. You might got diabetes, you might be obese, you might smoke crack. I'm not really sure. But if you have a comorbidity, you're at a higher risk of catching the virus and dying. And if you're elderly, if you're up there in age, same thing. And if you're in a nursing home, you probably got comorbidities and you're elderly. So that was a combination that just spelled disaster. Most of the virus deaths happened in New York. If you took New York away, then it would not be an issue with the viruses. I think that New York, at least at one point, had more deaths than anywhere in the nation combined. And a big part of that, from what I've been able to read, in my humble opinion, is the state directive that put quote unquote pressure on nursing homes to take virus positive people. So why are you getting an award? Why are you getting a reward for handling the virus from the Emmys? Why? For what? You don't deserve it. All right. Characters and all this and that. I mean, we're talking about fantasy and TV and things like that. Maybe it makes sense. But last I checked, I did not think that Andrew Cuomo was a actor. I didn't think it was a television star or a reality show. This is real life. People are actually losing their lives every single day. I did not think that it was a reality show. All right. And like I was saying from the beginning, the calls don't really bring about any kind of sense of peace or anything like that. What I see is a contentious back and forth debate. I see a bunch of mudslinging against the president, against people that are conservative. I just see him going out there and doing things just because, just talking sometimes, not making a whole lot of sense as it relates to what we know to be true about the virus, trying to make excuses for all the nursing home deaths and things of that nature. Okay, this is pretty despicable for him to get this award, but again, not surprised. These award shows and these boards, people that select the awards, it means nothing anymore. Back in the day when you would watch award shows, I don't watch award shows anymore, but when I was a kid or just younger, it kind of meant something. If a show won an award or a person won an award or something like that, it meant something and you were kind of rooting for them. Like, let's say it's back to music and you have your favorite singer, rapper, whatever, and they win an award. It's like, yeah, he deserved it. He won. It's great. But now when you see, or at least when I see these awards being handed out like popcorn, like candy, with all the different kind of, justifications that exist beyond the talent, exist beyond the tangible product, I'm just like, all right, is it more about a popularity contest, a propaganda contest? What's really going on? Is it an award or is it a reward? Do you get rewarded for doing what, quote unquote, they want you to do? Maybe they want propaganda to be pushed on television and Cuomo was the guy to do it. So as a result, you got this reward. All right. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Rewards, awards, whatever they are from these people mean nothing. Absolutely zero. Just like the whole thing with Oscar So White. Okay, you want to have this campaign called Oscar So White, right? All right. And as a result of that, you're going to have more people that are nominated for Oscars that would not normally be. It just wouldn't normally get it. Normally you would have the best of the best, but now it's about just who fits the narrative. Who cares about what's best anymore? People have no attention span. It doesn't even really matter what the best is anymore. What it's about now is just trying to promote narratives. They're trying to promote this man. Like, if they put it out on Twitter, it gets news coverage. All they're going to do is just promote them. It's a cross promotion. I would not be surprised if the Emmys got slid some cash up under the table to do that. Or if it was a grand plan with people like Andrew Cuomo and others at the table to say, hey, how are we going to get this across? How are we going to make it be mainstream to wear your mask and New York is great, come back to New York? I wouldn't be surprised because, remember, a lot of wealthy New Yorkers bounced during this whole virus thing. Maybe they couldn't work anymore. Maybe they couldn't go out and play, or they just couldn't do what they wanted to do. So they go to Florida. They go somewhere else and just leave because it's too restrictive being in New York City. You already got very high taxes, very high real estate, very high everything. And then on top of that, you want to put all these virus restrictions. And then the main guy that's putting the restrictions on the books, he gets awarded, gets some kind of praise and adulation. I mean, it's crazy. It's totally crazy. So as I close, I want to say this. Andrew Cuomo does not deserve an award for anything. That's just my humble opinion. Okay, if he does, I really don't understand how or why, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Andrew Cuomo deserved the International Emmy Award for his great job doing the press briefings about the virus? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or does he not deserve an Emmy Award? Do most people that are out there who, engage in this kind of stuff, do they deserve these awards? I feel like people get these awards for a reason that goes way beyond what they produce. their music, the television, whatever it is. It goes way beyond what they can produce. It's about them as a person. It's about what they push. It's about their character. Okay, no longer is it about talent. And if it's not about talent anymore, who cares? Nobody should care. But what we should care about is how you got the young folks out here that are being indoctrinated. They care. They know what's going on. So we got to be able to get to them and say, hey, this ain't even really right. He should not be winning the Emmy because this guy had a crazy policy during the virus that probably upped the United States' numbers in virus deaths by 20%, 30%, who knows? If you did not have New York City, especially in New York State, tallied up in the virus, we'd be much less, much less on par with other, more quote unquote first world countries. We're on par with them now, really, honestly, because you still got a very low death rate, but we be on par as far as having lower infections as well. If you got guys like Bill de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo that would just leave and their state would not be counted, maybe going forward, you guys in New York can pick a better person than the guy you have in office right now. And Andrew Cuomo, pick a better governor, pick a better mayor, because if you don't, you're going to have this same problem over and over and over again. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.